I'm sorry, are you addressing me? Because your authority is not recognized in Fort Kickass.
Are not rubbers.
Oh my god. Okay, yes, you can rub them, but just please don't hurt my family.
I mean, we're not robbers.
Oh.
Ow! Ow! Woo! Shrinky-dink that! Krieger out!
Hi, this is Harry from Level 5.
This is Brian from One Man Standing.
This is Nate from Shit to the Sun.
This is Jess from Shoot Lab.
You're listening to Dr. Bones.
Dr. Bones and Mike. Dr. Bones and Mike.
And you're listening to New Music Saturdays.
This is Martin from Dylan T. Rock.
JJ from Juxta.
Hey, this is Leslie
And Jason.
of The Sweetest Condition. New Music Saturday.
Music Saturday.
New Music Saturday.
New Music Saturday.
And you're listening to New Music Saturdays.
New Music Saturday. Dr. Bones and Mike. New Music Saturday.
Right on, and welcome to New Music Saturday. Unfortunately, Mike could not join us tonight, but he'll make it up next week. But we do have a very special musical guest tonight, and it's been literally a year in the making. So finally, welcome to the show, Jon Magnusson.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Oh man, like when I saw that post, like, yeah, actually, you know what? It actually has been a year since we've been trying to get you on the show and trying to fit you in. So man, there's so much to go over. Your new EP, Always a Rebel, comes out on the 9th of this month.
Yeah.
And just jumping back, because we played pretty much all of Psalm for Sinners. Now, I mean, they're close in time, but did you have like, we'll call it specific like inspiration for both EPs, because they're kind of like almost polar opposites, which is not a bad thing, but it's a good thing. So, did you have a specific like idea in mind when you did your first EP?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm quite spontaneous and impulsive, so I just go with the flow and do the stuff that comes to mind. And the first EP I produced all by myself, but the second EP I actually hired a producer here in Stockholm to co-produce it with me.
Now, did you find that made a difference for you as far as like maybe just things you weren't hearing, or just even like seeing how the production was done? Meaning, like, did the producer point out something and saying, well, you know what, it might sound a little bit better this way if you maybe drop your vocals a tone, or let's say you throw in an extra little part to the song, so in the bridge of the song.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I had 4 demos that I played for him. Like, we worked from the beginning of June. And we started like he was listening to the demos. Okay, this is good song ideas, and then he came with some ideas how to make the form of them, like with choruses and verses and everything. And I rewrited some of them and added a verse on "Set Me on Fire," for example. And then like we worked together and produced it together, the whole process.
Right. I know I'm just curious, because a lot of people, especially nowadays, they self-produce just because obviously it can be a little bit cheaper depending, right, on studio time and that sort of thing. And it's always interesting because I'll be honest with you, because sometimes I can't always tell when they went from a producer to having a producer, just because the recording is just so clean in general that you can't really tell until you find out the facts after, like adding an extra verse. Well, I did this, I did that to make it sound better.
Yeah, I think you can tell from this EP because the sound quality is amazing. Like, he has a university degree in sound engineering.
Oh, nice.
So the mix is fantastic. But also, like, we really clicked on a creative level. So like he could say, Jon, this doesn't work, do this instead. And he also, I used to say, Ruben got feeling when he decided to add a distorted glockenspiel or a Juno synth or anything. So it's a lot more dynamic than I could have done myself.
Well, that's awesome. Well, it's kind of like the old cliche, like 2 eyes are better than none.
Yeah.
So no, it's kind of funny when you mentioned that little saying because with my girlfriend and I, we there was an old Canadian show called Kids in the Hall, and there's a character called Daryl, and it's supposed to be Daryl, but it's like Daryl. So if there's any confusion, if it's ever brought up, we're like Daryl. So what I'd say joke, but it's funny. Like I'll send you a YouTube clip of it later to show you what I mean. Like, I mean, it's kind of lost a little bit if you haven't seen it, but it is pretty funny. So next up, just before we get to our first tune of the night, Always Rebel comes out on March 9th, and now I know you've been working on that for a while and promoting so much. Now, Jon, tell me a little bit about your social media avenues, because you've been doing so much between a blog post and going through a Facebook Messenger as well as these different pages and websites. So, what has worked for you the best, or has the work been rewarding? We'll put it that way.
Yeah, I would say Twitter is the best, because if you want to connect with people, Twitter is amazing. Both the tweets and the direct message. So you can connect with people and get to know people. But then I try to make, if I want to make a deeper connection, I try to add them on Facebook or get them to join my Messenger channel, because the Twitter DMs gets way too messy, and you can't really find anything there after a few months.
That's true.
But to make the first connection, Twitter is amazing. And I especially love, like, if you tweet about someone and you include me in the tweet, I always follow everyone in that tweet, because it's a good way to know this is people that are approved by someone I know and trust to have a good taste. So in that way, I think Twitter is amazing.
Well, you know what? I've done it that way too, because a lot of the people I added all of them as well. So it's nice to have all connections, and then that carries over to Facebook as well. And it's nice, and the music community in general is just it's big, but at the same time too, it's very tight knit. Meaning, people know what's going on, and they're always going to help out and that sort of thing. And we essentially kind of display our lives for the most part on Facebook and Twitter, that sort of thing. But it's worth it. I mean, it's all for the we'll call it for in our perspective, like the greater good, like musically, that sort of thing. And just one more thing before we get to our first song of the night. I know Mike and I made an announcement on air, but again, congratulations on your brand new child.
Thank you.
And I know that's amazing. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, it's amazing, but I'm quite tired. This week has been quite tough, but that's life, you know.
No, very true. It's you lose a lot of sleep, but in the end, it's a rewarding effort, sort of thing, right? Yeah, definitely. It's been the most amazing months in my life. Because, I mean, Mike and I were talking about it, before the interview coming up, saying, well, Jon has been a very busy guy, literally busy between the music and the new child and everything else. He's constantly on the go. We're trying to figure out when he actually sleep at all. And I actually work full time as well. So I don't know how I manage that either. Oh, I guess it's all about the drive that and the passion you have. I mean, it's the same thing with the show. I mean, because there's some times where I'm dead tired, but at the same time too, I'm working on it to make sure I kind of get the way I want, just like you put your music there, sort of thing. So with that being said, we're gonna get the first song of the night, and the first song of the night is gonna be this is one of my favorites from your new EP. This one's called "Set Me on Fire." Dig this.
Attenuate my anxiety, make me go astray. Then cover me with blankets, ease my aching heart. I don't wanna be a martyr, though I suffer for the art. heaven there's no hell. And if Jesus is your savior, cross me off your list. In the end I might get burned, but I gladly take that risk. Set me on fire, set me on fire, set me on fire, and keep the fire burning. Don't tuck me into sleep. Whisper softly in my ear that I'm the one you'll keep. I might get overheated, I might put on a show, but what's the point in holding back? I never liked it slow. Set me on fire, 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 set me on fire. Set me on fire.
Right on. That was "Set Me on Fire" by Jon Magnusson. Now, John, I think this is probably like my favorite song on the EP, and I just love the immediate burst of energy when the song starts. And lyrically, it's really good. I mean, it's like you can take them how you want, like most people do. But I enjoy the lyrics as well because it kind of makes you think through a few things. I guess you could say is a good way of saying it. But lyrically, musically, I mean, I just love the entire song. Like I said, that initial burst of energy at the very beginning really kind of drives it home for myself.
Yeah, thanks.
Now, speaking of lyrics, was there a specific, maybe not reasoning is the wrong word, but did you have a specific idea to this song when you sat down and wrote it?
Actually, I don't sit down and write songs, if I should be honest. I actually came up with this when I was driving to work.
Nice.
Like a few years ago, I started medicating for anxiety, right. And I got really great help for that. So I used to think about that every time in the morning when I take the pill, right. And that's where I got put something in my bloodstream to take away the pain. Right. Was actually coming from that when I was thinking of that when I was driving to work.
So an actual literal fact.
Yeah, exactly.
So the one thing I want to ask about too is, I mean, between the two EPs, just the EP titles. I mean, it's almost from one extreme to another. Like I said, that they're very different, which is a good thing. I love those different sounds in both of them. But going from Psalms for Sinners to Always a Rebel, I mean, for the actual EP title, I mean, how did you come up with those titles? Like, was it preconceived, or did it have to kind of do with the not the idea, but the flow of the EP, or?
Yeah, I think so. Because with Psalms for Sinners, I just thought, since one of the songs was Psalms